Welcome to episode 409 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton, and as always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer.
Hello again.
Hello. Are you telling me or them?
Everybody.
Okay.
I'm in a mood today, so.
Are you?
I am in a little mood.
Good mood, bad mood?
I'm going to lean bad.
Okay.
For some reason. I kind of just, one of those days where I just kind of woke up in a bad mood.
Yeah, I know those days.
You know those days?
I'm very familiar.
I just woke up and I'm like, man, I hate everyone today. And I don't have a reason. That's just the mood I'm in. I feel like I'm probably going to get in a fight with my wife later on because I'm going to say something stupid because my I don't give a fuck levels are way too high.
The problem with being in a bad mood around people who don't want you to be in a bad mood is the only way they seem to know how to try to get you out is to bring up that you're in a bad mood.
Right. But that's consistent across the board.
Yeah, but that's just accelerant for when you're in a bad mood.
Right. Yeah, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire.
Yeah. Yeah, because
my favorite is, well, listen, I know you're in a bad mood, but you don't have to be an asshole. Well, no, those literally go hand in hand.
Yeah, they're almost the same thing.
I don't think you understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And now, you know what you've done? You've put me in a worse mood.
It's rare that I'm in a bad mood and not an asshole.
Right.
That's something I would point out. Not the other two are almost exclusively go with each other. But that's the thing. People aren't trying to put you in a worse mood, but they're like, wow, you're in a bad mood. You're like, you think I don't know?
Right. I'm well aware.
Yeah. I was the first one this morning who knew I was in a bad mood.
Mm-hmm. My goal is for people not to point it out and talk to me.
Right.
But hey, here we are. So yeah, I'm not in a bad. I guess I'm not in a bad. I'm just in like a neutral mood. Like I don't know which way it's going to go yet.
Yeah, but you're leaning towards bad.
I'm leaning towards bad. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah,
something's bound to happen.
Producer Gerald's in the house. A quick shout out to him. He platinumed Fallout 76 finally.
He did after 576 hours, wasn't it?
516 hours.
16 hours.
516 hours. Now here's the thing. That trophy, only 1.2% of people who played that game have it. So It's a rare platinum.
Yeah.
Probably because if you'll rewind just 15 seconds, we'll tell you that he spent 516 hours getting it.
Right, that'll do it every time.
Yeah. Yeah, so no one can hear you and they get pissed about that, Gerald, but how proud are you of that platinum? Is that your most impressive? Like, is that your hardest platinum? GTA 5, he says. I would have thought that would have been your hardest platinum for sure. Fallout.
That one would have been my hardest one just because of the time involved in it.
That was my hardest. I didn't even do it. Yeah, he wasn't playing for the platinum. I guess I could see your point in that not going for it just made like you just enjoyed your 516 and you finally got it. But damn, that's a lot. Yeah, so he says the hardest part is he had to kill people and they have to engage you. It's like a good old fashioned duel.
Yes.
If both gentlemen don't agree to the duel, can't happen.
Both. Yes.
Duel, a gentleman's agreement.
So you can't just like assassinate people? See, that's more my speed.
Yeah, so early on, people wanted the combat.
Right.
But you missed that mark. You played till people became gentle.
Pacifists.
Yeah, we got it when it was like $1.
Yeah, I got
it. Good. Congratulations to you and your journey. You are on to, what else did you say you're working on the other day? Battlefront 2. Yeah, you're on your way to that one. It's like you're just calling off platinums I will never get.
Yes. To be fair, that's pretty close to every platinum Gerald's ever gotten. Is ones I will never get.
Yeah, a lot of that. He likes the grind.
He likes the grindy stuff.
Can you say bump and grind anymore? Can you make any R. Kelly references anymore?
I don't know. I don't think so. Well, I mean, you can, obviously.
But they're all in bad taste now.
But you'll get canceled.
Ooh. I bet we don't.
I'm talking cancel culture more than.
Yeah, I know, but our crowd's pretty resilient.
They are pretty resilient. We do have a good crowd. They'll probably see some humor in it.
Oh man, those
you
people
can make
put
all
it
the
on
R.
the
Kelly
wall.
jokes you want to. You
Someone
can do
put it on the
whatever you
wall.
want.
Nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. They had paint over that for sure.
Nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. It's true.
The message is not different. It's just in the context now of him being a piece of shit.
Right.
It's not. That's not.
Yeah. He's
like
not,
you don't want. People have that tattooed on them probably.
He's not the coolest human. The best human.
No, it's like if you had a quote up on your Facebook and it was from like Harvey Weinstein, like you probably took that off.
Right. Like if aliens came down, you wouldn't. Neither of those, Harvey Weinstein nor R. Kelly, would be like representatives of the human race.
Yeah, like you probably don't wear your Kevin Spacey shirt out anymore.
No,
no. When those things happen, you're like, even though I might be a fan, I'm gonna distance myself a little bit from him. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean you didn't enjoy the music he made. Right.
And I do think it is important to, and it's hard to do, I understand that, but I do think it's important to separate maybe sometimes the art from the artist.
Oh, welcome to 2020. That can't happen. Absolutely not.
I know. But that's how I feel about it. I mean, the best example I can think of that's current is right now Gina Carano's getting a lot of flack because apparently she's a little more right-leaning. And there's a lot of people that are not calling for her to be fired or killed off in Star Wars The Mandalorian. And I'm like, I like that character.
Yeah.
Though. I can separate the character of Cara Dune from the actress who plays her, Gina Carano.
How?
You know? That's just, I don't know. I guess my brain functions like normally.
So you knew before this that she was a person and not just that character?
Yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, I was aware of that. I was aware of acting as a profession.
Okay, I didn't know. A lot of people apparently aren't. Here's the thing. There's been actors for a long time where people are like, that guy's an asshole. Mm-hmm. Right, but people still enjoy the movies. Like, that was okay. And I'm not saying you should be like a rapist. Like, that's certainly not okay.
Right.
But to what you said earlier, like, it doesn't change the art that was made.
Right.
Now,
and the thing is the art isn't just, a lot of times the art isn't just a representative of that, doesn't just represent that person. There was a team effort that goes into all of those.
Right. So if you want to drive around with R. Kelly on, I think you still can. Wouldn't put my windows down.
Right.
Because everyone might not be as open-minded as you, and that the music still hits pretty hard, like.
Right.
That's the problem with, you have to start enjoying those things inside.
And you don't have to, but it's recommended. I mean, you can do what you want.
Well, I believe they're all called Karens and Richards now. Will find you.
Yes, the Karens and the Richards will find you.
They'll find you.
And it's. I mean, those things are occurring everywhere.
Yeah, it's bad though right now.
It is bad.
People are still bored and looking for something to be pissed off at. I would say there's lots to be pissed off at that aren't those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's very important. And I think this is something that gets missed in like all of these discussions is you got to be very careful about choosing your hill to die on because you only get one.
Yeah.
You know?
No. Everybody gets 3 or 4 a day now.
No, you get one. And if you think you get more than one, fuck you. See? Now I'm in a bad mood. Ha! What do you think of that?
Okay.
No, that's how that works. Pick your... You got to, like... there's people that freak out about wearing a mask with coronavirus on the rage. You know what? That's not my hill to die on. I'm going to wear a mask when I go into Walmart.
I'm still on the side. I think I look cooler in the mask. Like, I'm still on that side. I also have to wear a mask for work and have for months now. So the mask is not even a thing for me anymore. It doesn't even bother me. I have several of them. I like to rotate them in and out based on what I'm wearing.
So do I.
I like to have a little fun with the mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right? It's okay.
Yeah.
That is, I'll be honest, if I leave the house today, the mask will be the least inconvenient part of the entire situation.
Exactly. I mean, let's start with leaving the house, right?
Yeah, pissed about it already.
That's a thing I don't want to do.
Right.
I get it.
But here's the thing. You could listen to R. Kelly and that doesn't hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that gets the same way as, like, I don't want to wear a mask, and those are not the same situations.
True.
And so, I don't know. If you bet me $100 that we were to start the show out with talking about cancel culture and the way the world is, I would have taken that bet. Because this is not where you should get that information from. But
no,
it is. If I could just have one message for everybody, just try to be a better person, for you, and fuck everybody else. Just try to be better for you, and hopefully that'll work out if everybody does that.
Oh, very careful, not fuck everybody else. Don't be a better person for you at the expense of others.
What I mean is, if they want to be this way, you don't have to. I guess I didn't say that right. Like, their attitude be damned. Be a better person for you every day.
Yes.
I would say all this has made me a kinder person than I was before. Because it seems like no one can catch a break anywhere.
Well, I've tried to. Here's the. See, what I've run into, and I'm trying to be aware of it and not let it affect situations. But this is all of this has all made me very aware of where my lines are. The problem is that people that I would have never thought would cross that line have crossed it, and then I'm stuck in a conundrum. Because, okay, I used to like you, but you're saying some really shitty things.
Yeah, I've just tried to, again, because I can't control that, I've just tried to be, like, as good as I can be. I've been really nice to everybody. I
have too, yeah.
I don't get worked up about anything.
Yeah, I'm talking on a personal level, not like in a general level.
Yeah, I don't communicate with anybody on a personal level, really, other than
I need
4 or 5 of you guys.
I obviously need to stop.
Yeah. I mean, I communicate with like 4 or 5 of you guys, but I think most everyone that I know is like, he doesn't want to talk about those things.
Right.
Which is one of the best things I've ever done in my life, is to give that vibe. Whatever I've done to make people think I don't want to talk about those things is
perfect.
I'm really proud of that. Because I just, I try to be nice, try to be courteous. I don't get in a rush for anything, I just try to be nice to people. I was at Lowe's there yesterday getting something. This old dude was like struggling to get these boards off of the shelf, and I stopped what I'm doing, go over there and get them. And while I'm over there, some other guy comes and was like holding the cart for us. Like, it's not all bad.
It's not all bad.
And
I think we lose sight of that because that's what we hear about the most is the bad.
Yeah, it's just not all bad. But I will tell you, a year ago, I don't know if I helped that guy because I'm doing my own shit. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I just I don't know. I think I might have been a little worried about my time versus everybody else's a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
It took me 30 seconds to help that guy.
Right.
I didn't walk out to his car. It's his problem to figure out in the in the parking lot still. But he was right there, and it took me no time and no real effort. We had our mask on, we did our thing. The other guy come rolling up because the cart was rolling. It was fine.
Yeah. Well, that's I was in one of those situations just this week where I was grocery shopping because I do the grocery shopping in our house, and the person in front of me, because I went through the real person one, I had too much to do the scan.
Yeah.
And the person started having to put stuff back because she didn't have enough money, and I was like, no, you're $17 short. I'll take care of it. It's fine. I don't care.
Don't put your groceries back. Yeah, don't put your groceries back. It's fine.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, she was very, very grateful. But I'm like, no, it's not a problem, man. There's no reason. I don't know. Some of the stuff, I assume she had children. Although as an adult, I would eat most of that stuff, so maybe
doesn't even matter though.
But none of it mattered. I was just like, you know what? There's no reason to do this. It's $17.
She needed the $17. You were lucky enough to be in a situation where you had it.
Where I had $17. That was it.
Yeah. I went through the drive-thru the other day, and they were doing that fucking thing where somebody paid for somebody's food, so they want to pass it along.
Yeah, pay it forward.
Every time that ever happens, I get the short end of the stick because I have like a $7 meal and the person is like $14 that I'm paying for.
Right.
And that used to really piss me off, but now I'm like,
nah.
It's the point of it all. Like, it's feeling like somebody did something good. So, like, that happened to me the other day, and I gladly paid, even though it was still more than what my food was.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just any good right now that you can do
is good.
Is good, yeah. You should do that. Because the attitudes are only going to get worse the closer we get to holidays.
No, yes, that's true.
Yeah, so just buckle up. The rest of this year is probably going to get bumpy.
Yeah, I would wager that the beginning of next year is going to be a little bumpy. I mean, 2021.
Oh, you think around mid-January?
Could end up pulling a hold my beer.
You think around mid-January it's going to get weird?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, my birthday's on the 18th. So that's what I'm referring to.
You'll have 2 days.
Of January, so.
Yeah.
No, 2020 might be like, yeah, I'm the worst year ever, and 2021 might be like, yeah, hold my beer. Here.
Maybe, but here's what I know. We can't change it. Try to change it. Try to be a good person. I mean,
try to be a decent person. To try to have, just be aware of. Don't be selfish about it, about any of it. Just be aware of other people's concerns and those kinds of things.
Yeah, and try to, because everything is sort of shitty, try to surround yourself by people who...
Positive people.
Don't piss you off, because
not people like Dan on a Sunday morning who woke up in a bad mood.
It's easy to get pissed off right now. Yeah, but you're pissed off at home, not in public. You can be pissed at home.
Okay.
That's not great for your wife, but you could be pissed at home. As long as you manage to not take that out in public.
I suppose.
I went to eat this week, and it's like the service wasn't great, and then went somewhere else, and the proportions were a little fucked up. But like, there's so much like wrong that complaining about any of those things
seems like ludicrous.
I still tipped well. I was still pleasant. Like, I just don't. Like you said, you only get one hill.
Yeah.
A year ago, both of those might have been my hill. But they're just not now. Like, I could have complained about it for 2 hours, or I could just move on with my life.
Right.
And I feel better. Like, as a person, I feel better not worried about those little things.
Yeah, you're less stressed.
Because they really are little things. And I have so much stress at work, I can't afford to have that stress. And it probably has more to do with that than it does, like, the times. But because I've had to, like, restructure my stress, it's probably been really good for me. I just don't worry about the little things anymore. Well, that's not
a bad thing. You do, but not in the same manner. They don't bother me like they used to. Yeah. I mean, you're still aware of them, but they don't necessarily create as much of an inconvenience or a problem.
Yeah, I can see that it's an issue, and then I can, like, process it. Like, that's not ideal, but, you know, that's kind of where I'm at with, like, everything. I'm like, that's not necessarily how I would have wanted it to go, but it's okay. You know, because how I want it to go is also not realistic. You know, I want to walk in a restaurant, be seated immediately, them go, hey, fuck it, we like you, your meal's free. Anything you want. It's all about you, big guy. You know, that's not going to happen either. But we could probably land somewhere in the middle.
In the middle, okay. Yeah. It's always about the compromise.
Yeah. Gerald's got kindness up right now because we're
regardless of what you might have been told, it's always about compromise.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I think it's important to be like, you guys are sometimes in bad moods and we joke a lot, but for the most part, you know, I'm not around anyone that I don't think is a good person.
Right.
And so I think that makes life easier as well. And I don't have social media really in the way that normal people do, so I don't see any of the toxic there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've talked in the past about everybody that we play with and that I'm friends with and stuff, and everybody's got their quirks, but they're all super good people.
Right.
And so it makes life easy. I mean, Gerald's like the nicest person I know.
Yeah, Gerald is for lack of a better term, Gerald's a fucking sweetheart, man.
Yeah, and friend of the show, Marshall 205, would give you the shirt off his back, the literal shirt off his back at any moment.
He'll probably give you shit about it, but he'll do it.
Yeah, and
actually, he'll do it and then give you shit about it later.
And same for Matt. Matt would give it to you after 300 questions, but he would give it to you. Like, that's, you know, Patman would pack it up and ship it while we were talking.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the kind of people that I choose to be around, and I think that helps also because, you know, there's complaining and venting and stuff, but it's just not. And I would say all of us are on different levels as far as how we choose to, you know, place our importance on things.
Those things, yeah.
Yeah. But it's never an issue.
No.
Like, never. In fact, you know, we mess with each other about it. Like, we're able to laugh about it.
We manage to. I mean, there's plenty of us that all have different opinions about things, but we usually engage in a humorous and non-toxic manner.
Yeah. It's
so.
I know that not everybody has that, and I do think that I'm lucky to have that. So I'm not trying to say just go get a good group of friends. I know it doesn't work that way. But, you know, if you have that, I would say gravitate towards those people because it'll make the other things in your life easier.
Yes.
And if you're not happy at home, I don't know how all that works. And if you're single and all that,
those things, those will be your silver lining, so to speak.
Yeah, because I don't know if you can even date with COVID. Like, I don't even know how any of that works.
To be fair, I wasn't really good at dating before a pandemic. So
yeah, me either. So what I'm saying though is, if you don't have like that, try to gravitate towards your friends and stuff. Because I don't even know how people are all getting in this like coronavirus like funk right now, where they're just like stuck at home again.
Yeah,
people are getting pissy again.
Yeah. They just made some changes here in New York yesterday. So
oh yeah, I think they're hitting everywhere. There's a lot of this will only affect myself and Gerald on this, obviously, but there's a lot of talk about shutting the military base down here, which would be huge.
Whoa, really?
Mm-hmm. That would be
nobody in or out?
Right.
Wow.
Essential personnel only. Everybody has to go report to the barracks, and nothing happens.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Well, here, restaurants have to close at 10 o'clock.
That's not great either. What happens?
Well, they can still do takeout and delivery.
You catch it after 10 though?
Yeah.
See, that's my negativity rising to the top. See, that's where you have to be careful. Is one more likely to catch it after 10? I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Well, I don't think it's about that. I think it's about that's a time that's been determined generally that people go to a bar to gather, not sit down at a table and eat.
So what they're saying is you can't go to a bar and gather, and the only way to do that is to say that it's just not even open. Yeah. Which affects, unfortunately. Like, what about a restaurant without a bar?
With the rise.
Like a Subway, could it be open?
Are they still open at 10?
I don't know. That was a bad example, but you know, like any place.
Besides, you can still do delivery and pickup.
Let's say like a place like Burger King that's normally open at 10. They can't be open?
For delivery and drive-through.
That's weird, though, even though they're not a place where no one gathers at BK.
No, it's not, but you can't. Then I think it gets down to a across-the-board thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it comes down to punishing people who serve alcohol.
Sure,
as opposed to
punishing everybody.
So just all restaurants have to close. Can't seat people after 10. But they can all still do delivery and takeout.
I prefer takeout and always have anyways.
Right. And well, your Taco Bells, your Burger Kings, the ones that are open 24 hours close usually at 10 or 11 anyway and only do drive-through. So
there are, more places do delivery and takeout now than ever before.
Uh-huh. And I think a lot are seeing that it's what's kept them afloat, but they're saying that there's actually a lucrative business in that.
Yeah, I think it's tough. I mean, you're seeing places obviously go out of business that have been staples for communities for years and years, and
yeah,
and it's not good. But it's gonna get worse before it gets better, probably. So just support local where you can. If you like their food, buy their food. If you didn't eat it before, then you're probably not worried about if it goes out of business.
Just go and pick it up, or
yeah. Now you're a little more rural than I am. Do you have like DoorDash and Grubhub and?
I do, but I don't have. I mean, I could get it, but I've got like two places I can choose from, and I might as well. One of those places has their own delivery service,
but they do deliver to you though.
Yeah,
you could get a little bit at home.
Yeah,
Gerald and I could get almost.
I could get stuff from some places, but it would cost me an outrageous amount of money. That's not worth it.
I could get almost everything, and Gerald can get everything.
Yeah.
But it's I just usually go get it. I find that I get it faster if I go get it.
But I don't have any like major restaurants here around me.
What's the closest restaurant you have? If you don't want to give away your vicinity, you don't have to.
Like that's not fast food that you're talking like a chain?
Or just anything. Like if you wanted to go get food, what's the closest thing you can get to?
I mean, I can go up to the corner store and get a sub.
Is it like their subs or is it like a Subway?
It's their sub. It's a convenience store.
Gotcha.
But if you're talking, I think when most people think of that stuff, they think of like the chain restaurants, right?
I just meant anything where you could get food not necessarily a gas station, but like a food place.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a couple. There's a diner 5 miles away.
Oh,
there's a couple diners 6 miles away.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But if you're talking like the chain restaurants that are usually in major metropolitan areas, 30 minutes.
Oh, that's not great. That's a pretty good drive. I'd rather eat at a diner, but sometimes fast food is easy.
Mm-hmm. And the closest fast food I have is, the closest fast food is about 6 miles away too.
Yeah, it's not so bad then.
But they don't have, there's a McDonald's, a Burger King, a Taco Bell, a KFC, and a Wendy's in Brockport. It takes me 6 miles to get there.
Everything's really close to me, and I have a Popeyes and a Burger King that are really close to me.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is really, for the most part, less than 10 minutes away from me.
But there's a pizza place that delivers. We get that good pizza, not that pizza you guys get down there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a regional thing, but I hear you.
Or I can... Regional?
Yeah, I would say. The pizza is different as you change regions. Like what you even mean when you say pizza is different.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Ours is best. But there's one that delivers that we really like, and there's one a little further that I'll go and pick up because we're farther away. But it's my favorite pizza. So,
what's your favorite topping? One topping?
Oh, cheese and pepperoni.
It has to be pepperoni. I have a thing, like if I'm going to order pizza, because people are all about the trendy pizzas now, like whatever like new thing they have.
Yeah.
Like, you can get that, but you have to get a pepperoni because we're not even having pizza if there's not a pepperoni.
Right. Yep, that's how I order. I mean, that's how I order my pizza. I need a large cheese and pepperoni, sweet sauce, pie cut.
I'll tell you what I've gone. What's pie cut?
Pie cut.
What does that mean?
Cut in a triangle.
Opposed to like squares.
No, it's cut like a pie.
Yeah, but if you don't say that, how do they cut it?
Oh, they go up and then across.
So they do like the rectangles.
Yeah.
So everything here traditionally comes pie cut. You have to ask for it there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Now they do the giant pieces like in row 3 there that Gerald has pulled up.
Yep.
Always see when New York always makes his jokes about how the pizza's like oversized.
There's a place here in Pizza Hut. There's a place here in New York called Perry's Pizza. You can go for $3.25. You can get a giant slice of pizza.
Go back, Gerald.
This slice is about 18 inches long and about 10 inches wide.
Do you see the way that pizza was cut? Is that how they get big slices?
No.
Look at that.
Yeah, no.
It's just a big pizza, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do it that way.
I've never seen it cut that way, but that's how you get big pieces out of a pizza. I'm like, that's not how I thought that worked.
I've never seen it cut that way.
Yeah, Gerald says Sbarro cuts that way. I didn't realize. I thought that it just came from a big pizza. Huh.
No, a lot of times they make an extra large pizza and just cut it into 4s. That's what they do here.
Yeah, because I think that would have crust on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
You have to cut the tips off.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, that's how I thought they cut it.
That's usually how they do it here.
Now, I'm into the fold technique. I am a fan of the fold technique even with our pizza.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see. I'm the opposite. I prefer the rectangle pizza. I prefer it cut that way, and I still fold. I also like a thin crust.
Yeah, no, I like a pan crust.
Yeah, your pizza has that flaccid tip on it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I like a crunchier.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I like it cut in rectangles.
See, up here
and
you gotta fold it and slide your hand under it into the middle
for support,
so that when you lift it up to your mouth, all of the toppings don't just slide off.
Yeah. See, I like it. Basically, my pizza's on like a saltine.
Yeah. No, that's disgusting.
I don't want the salty part, but I want that hard crunch.
That's disgusting.
The flying V method is what the semi-fold to the flying V.
Yeah, but that's not a good piece of pizza because that
stiff.
front should be hanging.
Yeah, I wonder if it's cold because he's doing it like that, though.
And he should have to slide his hand into the middle.
Because it firms up when it's cold,
almost like you're
right?
eating a taco.
Yeah, but maybe that's cold. Doesn't it firm up when it's cold?
Mm-hmm.
That cheese would hold it together. That doesn't have pepperoni on it, but it does look scrumptious.
There you go. Thicker crust, but that's how the tip of the pizza should be.
Yep. Let's start talking about video games.
We probably should because we're pretty far into it, and all we've talked about is...
So you don't know this. Nobody knows this. When I was pulling the news for this week, there was a brief moment where I just said, I'm not going to send anything out. We'll just talk for an hour.
Oh.
Because I'm not feeling any of this news that we're about to cover.
Yeah, there's nothing major.
So I was like, we just won't even do any news. But then I was like, nah, that's weird too. I don't know.
So we're just going to fly through the news.
Yeah, so before we do, you've been playing a new game. Let's talk about that, then let's jump straight into kind of the news and maybe a couple more rants, and then we'll close this bitch out.
Sure. So you haven't played anything new then? You're just playing the same old stuff, right?
Yeah. No, that's not true either. I played Pistol Whip in VR.
Oh, you finally got it?
Finally got it. It's finally on sale, and I got it. I heard so many good things about that game. When I jumped in and I played the first level, I was like, I don't know if I get it.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if I understand the hype. I played like 5 levels, and by the end of it, I was like, I fucking get it. I get it. For if you've never seen Pistol Whip, it's basically like John Wick Simulator.
Yeah.
You're going through what looks like a super hot world. It moves you, and then enemies run out, and you shoot them, but you're trying to shoot them on the beat of the music that's in the background.
Okay.
When you finally, as a guy with no rhythm, when you finally figure it out, like when you get on the beat, and you're like, I don't know, there's something magical about it, because they come running out, and you're like, you're hitting them with the beat. It's amazing when you're shooting them like in time.
Yeah.
Those levels look like chaos that he's showing you there, but a lot of times it's like one guy on the right, one guy on the left, and then one guy in front. Like you can do it and line it up. It tells you how many beats per minute. They flash when you need to shoot them, so you have an idea. Again, I don't know what these levels are that it's pulling here, because this looks like total chaos, but it really is. You really feel like a badass. There was a moment where, and it didn't have anything to do with what I was doing, but I was dual wielding. I put a gun out on each side, and I pulled the trigger at the same time on the beat and shot 2 dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And I popped a trophy, and I was like, please tell me that was a trophy, because that's the most badass thing I've ever done. And it was not even tied to that action. It's just I happened to do enough of something right then.
Oh.
But I mean, that game does a really good job making you feel like a badass. But I only played it for probably like 40 minutes. I got hot face, because I haven't played VR in a while.
Oh, you got hot face.
Yep. Yeah, I got that hot face. So
I know hot face.
Yeah, I had to climb out of there, because here's the guy that's going to play it, and this will probably give you a better... He's probably on hard, though. See, it was like one. And see, they shoot at you, too, and you have to dodge those. That's how they're coming out when I play, but you're doing it on the beat.
Okay.
It's really neat. There is a lot of leaning and stuff like that, and peeking around, so he just pistol whipped that guy. But yeah, it's you look like that, or you don't, but you think you look like this guy.
Right.
You probably look like a moron in your living room, but this guy looks badass, and that's how it feels. And every time you just lower your gun, it reloads automatically.
That's
and you can
cool.
reload like on the in time as well. It's really neat, and you really feel like a badass. I mean, look.
Well, I
at
know
all
you
that.
were excited for it, so I'm glad it worked out, and you weren't incredibly disappointed.
No, I really was. Now the first time I played, I was like, I whatever it is that people are seeing, I'm not seeing. But then, like I said, by the time I played like 4 or 5 levels, I was like, I get it. Like, I really get it. There's something magical about when you see them like light up green, knowing you're hitting them right on beat. And I don't understand rhythm, so if you really got rhythm, it'd probably be a blast. I'm doing the best I can for the way I understand rhythm. But typically, that's like, you have to bend around the walls. Yeah, you can't see around them, and if you hit them, it actually takes a health point away. So you do have to bend around the walls. You don't move. You just have to. Your head can't hit them. Your head is basically your heart.
Okay.
So as long as your head misses them, you miss them. But a lot of times you peek around and there's a dude already there that you couldn't see, and you have to. That's where you have to control yourself to not. If you're not on rhythm, you shouldn't kill them yet.
Right.
For max points, but if you wait, they shoot. If you shoot them before they shoot, it obviously makes life easier because you don't have to dodge the bullets.
Right.
There's like it's a lot going on. But yeah, I'll talk more about it. But yeah, Pistol Whip, that was new that I played and I super enjoyed it.
Well, that's cool. I picked up Assassin's Creed Valhalla this week. Just on a whim because I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in a very long time. And I absolutely love Vikings. So I picked it up. Wasn't sure what I was in for because I think with Origins they did a little bit of a soft reboot on some things. And so I wasn't sure what I was in for. And now I'm probably about 6 hours in. And I can tell you this game is going to be huge. Like, large. And I'm really having a lot of fun with it, especially with the exploration aspect of it. I haven't really dug into where I've like sat down for a 4 or 5 hour streak yet. I'm kind of looking forward to doing that. I'm hoping I can do that today, but I don't know. But yeah, it's the Assassin's Creed had gotten a little stale for me after Brotherhood. No, not Brotherhood. Assassin's Creed 2. I talked about it a number of times. That's the perfect video game. I was let down by Brotherhood. I wasn't into, Black Flag was okay. I did play that one, but I played more multiplayer in that than anything else. So Origins and Odyssey, I hadn't played at all. I was like, well, I'm kind of interested in them. I don't know, but I'm glad I picked it up because it's gonna fill a lot of time for me while I'm waiting for PS5s to finally come out. Mm-hmm. So I can pick one up, and I'm really enjoying the different aspects. Now there is it's Ubisoft. Don't get me wrong. You know what to expect from Ubisoft. You're getting it, but there's tons of exploration, and the worlds look amazing. You can stumble upon different stuff. It's just fun to just walk around that world. So far, I've only been in like Norway so far.
Did you choose to play as the guy, girl, or both?
The guy.
Gotcha.
When I play characters the closest to me. Mm-hmm. I play them the way I would play them. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's, like, I don't like to, like, you and producer Gerald has up is showing some gameplay from it, and he just had that big war axe.
Yeah.
I don't play that way. I would, because in real life I would never use a single.
Right, that's the way I would play, right?
Right. So I'm wielding. I have an axe and a hammer. That's the way I would play. I'm dual wielding an axe and a hammer. So yeah, I play them almost like it's not completely role play, I guess, but I try to like. Okay, if this was me in this time, how would I live my life? So, and that's kind of how I try to play. And I obviously wouldn't live my life as a woman.
Right.
So
I would like to play that game.
That's why I chose him.
But I've been wanting. I bought Odyssey and Origins and never played either one of them, even though I want to. And this, obviously, just watching the video, I'm like, need to play it. So,
yeah, this one is this is the one that really. I mean, the Roman was cool. I wasn't too concerned with the Egypt one. That's not a time period I'm very interested in. I was kind of interested in Odyssey and the Roman aspect, but when they said Vikings, I was like, oh my good lord, yeah, I'm gonna have to pull this one out.
Yeah, the problem I have with all of these is that 100 hours.
Yeah, I understand that.
I just don't have it, but man, it looks so amazing, and it looks super fun.
Before this came out, I did play some more Ghosts of Tsushima, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get myself. We'll talk about it more. I think I'm trying to get myself leveled up enough so I can actually perform in the raid. The problem is I don't have anybody to raid with, so I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. That's kind of only the bad spot, the bad point of when I enjoy those. When I find a multiplayer aspect of something I enjoy, usually no one else does, so I can never really get into any of the heavy endgame stuff unless I want to play with Strange, and then it comes to weighing which one to do, and it usually comes down to, oh, fuck it, I'm just not going to play the multiplayer anymore.
Right, I get that. I do understand that.
So, so Valhalla is all single player, so that's not a problem I should have to worry about.
All right, so if you want to support us, head over to patreon.com/GameStitch and do so. We'll go through this news fairly quick, and not because we're rushing. Just there's not, like I said, I debated even putting anything in. I don't want to address the elephant in the room too much. The new consoles are very hard to get.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Extremely hard to get. I'm very aware of everybody's frustrations. We probably have sort of the same frustrations. Neither one of us are breaking our back to get one, but we would like to have one, and that's kind of where we are. If I could caution people, I would say don't pay more than what they cost. They will eventually be available.
That's the biggest thing I'd say. I know some places I've seen these consoles going for $1,000. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't
do that.
Please don't do that unless you are just stupid rich, and even then I would caution you, because the more people do that, the more people are going to buy them for resale purposes, which will in turn make them harder. Let me tell you something. If everybody bought one to resell it, couldn't sell it right now, you'd be able to get them everywhere.
Right.
So try to hold out. You're going to make it. Remember, there's nothing really that you can't do right now that other people are doing.
Exactly.
It's going to be there when you get it. So that's the only thing I want to say about that. So obviously both consoles are out now, the Series X, Series S, as well as the PlayStation 5. Microsoft continues to outclass Sony in their congratulations of the launch, I think. The Xbox launched first on November 10th.
Yep.
They did tweet out that they had finally launched. Sony did immediately reply to that with a Mortal Kombat 11 friendship finisher video, which I thought was fun. It's still like Sony, though, in that they just can't be heartfelt about anything.
Right.
And then, of course, Microsoft did what it did on the 12th when the PlayStation launched. The official Xbox social media account said, "Congratulations to the PlayStation." Then it went a little more heartfelt in its second message, saying, "Generation after generation, it's been a pleasure to game alongside you."
Yeah,
which is like a real nice message.
Yep, and it's really classy. And Microsoft or Sony wasn't so much. They decided to Mortal Kombat that shit.
They sent up a friendship fatality. Like, come on, Sony. Like, we've talked about it like way too many times for way too many years now, but like, it is not a console war anymore.
No.
But Sony still doesn't seem to get it.
No.
They still view them as their mortal enemy, and I'm like, it's just not the case. But I think you have to look at other things. Like, Phil Spencer seems like that guy, right?
Right.
Phil Spencer is passionate about gaming, not passionate about just Xbox.
Right.
And so I think it comes across in the way that company is, or that division is led in Microsoft.
Yep.
Because that seems like the comment he would make. Like, I don't know. I put this on here because I'm like, you did it again, Sony. You got outclassed again. First off, I'm shocked they even replied to the first one.
And just ignore it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they even acknowledged the fact that it came out.
And then when they did, it turns out they probably should have just ignored it.
It's just one of those things where it's like, is it
Really?
so hard to say congrats?
Really? Yeah, I know.
Is
Really?
it so hard to say?
Dude, I was nice to you and you got to be a dick?
But shout out to Microsoft for staying the course when it comes to the way they address Nintendo and Sony.
Yes.
Because I think that when you look at the two companies, Microsoft wins points for me every chance they can.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're consumer friendly. I think they're industry friendly. I prefer to play on PlayStation, but I see you, Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way you carry yourself.
I'm almost to the point where, and not just because of this, but overall, I've talked about it before. Microsoft is finally doing what they said they wanted to do with the Xbox One that I was completely on board for.
Yeah.
Then. So I'm almost to the point where it may come down to whichever one I find first is the one I get. I don't know that I have a preference at this point.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because I just think they do everything a little. They hold themselves a little better for the consumer, for the industry. I think it's hard not to take note of that, and I think this was like the easiest example that I've seen in a long time, where you can just see the way they view things.
You can see the differences. Yep.
Yeah. So from one heartfelt story to another.
Oh my God.
So. The Xbox Series X is out. Video started to emerge on social media of the consoles overheating. I'm going to put air quotes around that. And smoke rolling out of the systems.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's turned out that people are doing that on their own by blowing vape smoke into the machine because the fan is on the top.
Yes.
So it makes it look like it's on fire. And sadly, Microsoft had to go back to Twitter, this time not to give Sony a pat on the back, but to say, we can't believe we have to say this.
But please don't do that.
But please don't blow vape smoke into your Xbox Series X. Put down the vape and pick up the controller, is what they said. There's something... I love that they started that tweet out by saying, we can't believe that we have to say this.
I know, that's the best part, and that's the truest part of the whole fucking thing.
Don't blow smoke into your console. It's probably not good for it. That's the problem. The fact that this has become like a trend is not good. See, there they are blowing smoke into the bottom of it. It sucks it up. It blows it out the top, and it looks like your console is on fire. But I love that Microsoft wasn't like, hey, you're making us look bad. They're like, you shouldn't do that.
Right. Could cause a problem.
Yeah, we didn't test it for that.
Right.
So probably don't blow smoke. Also, stop vaping and play our games. Like, I don't know. Again, I think it's a classy tweet, but I was like, what a story. What a thing that's happened. Now, there are issues with both systems that are popping up. I think they're sort of isolated. It doesn't seem anything is too widespread right now.
Yeah.
You just never know, though, at the beginning of a console.
But blowing vape smoke into it is not one of those problems.
You shouldn't do that.
Don't do that.
I think. This next story I just thought was interesting because they've been teasing it a lot lately, and then Phil Spencer added fuel to the fire. But Elden Ring, which is a Miyazaki game from Software, and of course it's tied in with Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And so it got a lot of hype. I think it was debuted in 2019 at the E3 press conference there. And since then we haven't seen much about it. But they did come forward and say, hey, we're still working on it. And then Phil Spencer kind of followed that up when he said that he's actually seen quite a bit of it and played quite a bit of it.
And he did say that it is, I believe he said he thinks it's the best game, or his most ambitious game, I'm sorry.
Yeah, which is a very broad comment.
Right.
Yeah, he said it was Miyazaki's most ambitious game yet, which could take you down any path you want it to go down.
Exactly.
This game is already has a lot of hype.
Why does it look like Ganon?
I don't know anything about this game, but it's got a lot of hype. People think the story will be amazing. People think
rewind
the
it
gameplay
a little
will
bit
be
more, Gerald. Let Ryan see. Watch. Doesn't this guy look like right there? Doesn't it look like Ganon?
Yeah, a little bit. What about that sword? The sword is massive.
It is. That's the Final Fantasy sword. Final Fantasy VII.
That thing has a name, doesn't it?
It does, but I can't think of what it is. So we'll probably hear about it.
The Buster Sword? That's what Gerald said, in case that's wrong, too. Let me cover myself. But yeah, so that's still out there. It just goes to show you with those games in development, people think that they're dead or in their development hell, and like people are out there playing them. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Sony has addressed the PS Plus plans for the future. So all PlayStation Plus members will continue to receive at least 2 great PS4 games each month. It is our goal to add PS5 games regularly to the monthly games lineup. So check back with us at PS Blog for our monthly PlayStation Plus announcement. That all coming via the PlayStation Blog, because I think people were wondering if we were going to switch over to PS5 games initially and all 100 million of everyone else are going to be screwed, and it seems like the answer is no.
The answer does appear to be no. That's a good thing.
We did
but I think it also goes to show you, to what we were speaking to earlier, one of the reasons is that you don't need to spend too much on a PS5.
Yeah.
Right now, there's just not a whole lot available for it.
So we did let you know that this month you would be receiving your 2 PS4 games, and as well as they had made Bug Snacks free. And so I did get a couple messages from some people I know about not being able to get a PS5 and worried about missing out on Bug Snacks. So here's 2 things. Bug Snacks is available all the way till January. Mm-hmm. And if you're super concerned about it, you can actually just go to the PlayStation Store on your computer and you can add Bug Snacks to your library without a PS5.
Yep.
So you can't do it with your PS4, but if you go to your computer or your phone and log into the store, make sure you're in the U.S. store, make sure you're logged into your account, you can actually add Bug Snacks to your library right now, and you never have to worry about it as long as you keep your PlayStation Plus account. So don't panic. You can still get Bug Snacks for free.
Yes, you can.
I think Destruction All-Stars, they've also announced it's going to be a free game, so just keep your eye on those, and as you see PS5 ones pop out, jump on the store and download those anywhere but your console. This next story is good and misleading.
I don't even understand this.
Yeah. I hate the way that this is what's wrong with articles and titles and clickbait. So I want to read you the title.
Yeah,
not you,
ahead.
the listener. Ghost of Tsushima becomes PS4's fastest selling first party original game. What is that? When you hear that, what do you think?
That means that it was a original IP by one of Sony's internal studios, and it had the fastest selling game ever of those.
Right, but it doesn't really mean that.
I know.
But that is what it means, right? It tells you of Sony's games, this is the fastest selling for the PlayStation 4, but it doesn't actually mean that.
Yes.
Well, let me try to break this down. Spider-Man,
Don't hurt yourself.
Not an original IP.
Mm-hmm.
Last of Us, not an original PS4 IP.
Well, Last of Us 2 is also a sequel, not an original.
Not an original, it started on the PS3 also. Once those are removed, Ghost of Tsushima is the fastest selling original PS4 game because it is the only original. It's going up against things like Days Gone and obviously games like that that are original for this console. I just put this on here to talk about the success, but the more I read it, the more I'm like, this story doesn't even make any sense.
It doesn't. I don't know. It feels like, to be honest, what it almost feels like is Ghost of Tsushima did not perform the way they wanted it to, so they're trying to find something that it did.
Well, this is not Sony's, though. This is not from Sony. The worst part of the story, this does not come from Sony.
No, it's Sucker Punch, right?
No, this came from a video game website wrote this.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
I don't know. Ghost of Tsushima is a good game. You should pick it up. So
here's what it actually did. It sold 5 million copies since launching on July 17th, which is a good number.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a successful number. And this all came out of because Herman Holst went online and announced the incredible achievement, and then everybody was like, "Oh, we could write a story in that somehow." And Talk about if you just put that it sold 5 million copies, that would have been a great story.
That would have been sufficient, yes.
But instead, they twisted it into this weird, like, it sort of is. It's the fastest original selling IP of the PS4, like it is, but, you know, a little bit of a stretch. But anyways, I put this on here to remind people to play Ghost of Tsushima because Black Friday is, I don't know, maybe happening right now.
Most places seem to have it for $40. Yeah,
you could get the game a little cheaper. I don't even know what Black Friday is. Everything is already on sale everywhere. And,
you can't go into any stores for it.
Yeah, like I don't even know.
Thing.
Yeah, so that game's still looking good. So there that is. Last story, not video game related. I put this on there for the three of us because we all like Lego. And Lego has announced their biggest set ever, and it arrives on Black Friday.
Also a little misleading.
A little bit misleading. It's a staggering 9,036 pieces, which is considerably more than the previous biggest set at 7,541, which is the Millennium Falcon. The largest set will be available November 27th, which is Black Friday, and it'll set you back $550. That's a lot of money, but it's actually $150 cheaper than the Falcon set. So here's why, though, why both of those things. It's cheaper and it's more pieces because they're small pieces.
Yeah, it doesn't have any very large pieces in it.
Got a lot of tiny baby pieces.
Yep.
Now, I don't want it to sound like I'm shitting on it because this is the Roman Colosseum and it looks fucking
cool.
Awesome.
It looks amazing.
It looks so good. And when I saw this, I was like, Gerald's not going to buy it, but I wish he would. Look how good that looks.
I wish he'd put it together and send me a picture of it. Look how big that
Look how good that looks.
It does look good. It looks good.
Oh my God. It is big too.
Mm-hmm.
It'd take forever to put together. The way that I have time, it would take forever. That's the designer there, Rock Kobe. Badass name. That guy was destined for good. His name is Rock Kobe. Or Kobe.
Could be. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the Colosseum is cool. That's the important thing.
I'll say a thing that I think I've probably said 1,000 times. It's amazing to see what Lego can do with Legos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one looks at that and doesn't know what that is, right?
Right.
It looks exactly like it's supposed to look. The further you get away, the more detailed of a model that is, which is incredible. Like, it's super detailed up close, but the further you get, the more it even looks.
Yep.
I mean, look at that.
You are absolutely correct.
It comes on like a serving platter, too. Like a tray. That thing's cool as hell.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that and you've got money right now, I think it's cool. I think it's super cool. Gerald, pull up the Legos Ideas page that you always go to. Let's see what's out there as we close out this news section. Let's see what Dan and I want to support today. There's probably something good cooking.
Nah, maybe.
You don't think so?
Not
you don't
always.
think we'll find something? Let's see what's up here.
I don't know.
Let's see what we see here as he scrolls through. Oh, we've got all the pop-ups first.
Yeah, you got to get through those.
The cookies and the pop-ups. 123 Sesame Street. That kit's out, and it looks really good.
Yeah, the Sesame Street kit does look cool.
That's not the idea. How do you get to where we vote on them? That's what I meant to say. I probably told you the wrong thing. Did I tell you wrong? What's it called?
I don't know what the other thing's called.
I don't either. I said the wrong thing, I think. So Gerald doesn't know what I wanted him to do. He's finding it now. I thought they were ideas. I thought that's what you voted on that they made, but I think you just pulled up the ones that were there. But it reminded me that
is it product ideas?
It's pretty good. That's it. What is it called? It is ideas, but it's like the funding page.
Yeah.
Not the funding pages, but those fucking GMC looks good.
Wow.
I don't know what that is. That's not anything for me. Wallace and Gromit, I'm in. I love Wallace and Gromit. Among Us is charming.
Among Us, the bookends are kind of cool.
Bookends are adultish.
A lot of Among Us.
Yeah, it's always whatever the hot thing. The Nanny.
Wow.
Hold on. Somebody's like, I'll tell you what I need a set of. The Nanny.
The Thunderbirds.
The basement's kind of cool. Oh, what is that thing? Riverside's. I can't read it. Scholars. That's cool.
Yeah. A lot of Nightmare Before Christmas. That's.
As we roll into
Hyrule Castle.
Hyrule Castle's pretty cool. You're right. I'm not seeing anything that's just jumping out right
Jumping out at me. No, me either.
Age of Empires. That's a pretty cool set.
Yeah, I'm not really... Yeah, nothing's jumping out at me.
Yeah, I thought there'd be something that would pop. Garfield.
Yeah, nothing's like, ooh, that's cool.
Garfield's got like a weird like cult following.
He does have a weird cult following.
When I say weird, I don't mean people that follow him weird. I mean it's like surprising.
Ooh, the samurai helmets are neat.
Those hit that Ghost of Tsushima vibe for you, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They popped.
Oh, the Addams Family house is cool as hell.
I'm not. Doesn't do much for me.
That's cool. It looks cool. I would never buy it. It looks cool.
All right. Well,
Modern Family's house. Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled there. I didn't really see anything. And Wallace and Gromit support it because I like Wallace and Gromit and nobody else does, except for whoever made that set. How many votes does that have? Are we getting close on it? Oh shit! A lot of people like it.
Yeah. Look at that. There's a lot of Wallace and Gromit folks out there.
Those are. Those shows are good. It's got a little Shaun the Sheep shout out too. It comes with a sheep. I love stop motion animation. Those GMCs look damn good. So check that stuff out. And that's all we have for the news.
Yeah, that's
Told you there wasn't much of substance.
I reckon that about wraps it up.
I think so. Car wash is cool. Yeah, I'm just that Colosseum, if anyone scoops it up, I don't know that we have people who do Lego hardcore in the community, but if we do and you scoop that up, please send us pictures.
Oh, yeah, we want to see them.
Podcast@Gamestitch.com if you put that together. Shout out to Zach and to Thomas for always supporting us, always being there and being two of the swellest people we know. Everybody else that listens to that Animal Crossing set right there, 8,186 there on the right. Take my money, please. That looks good. Gerald, would you buy that? You're pissing me off right now.
He said, no.
Don't worry about what he said. That's why we don't have him mic'd up right there. Shitty comments that he's making. If you want to follow us on the social medias, I'm at Podcast Ryan. Dan is at Cheryl Dan, and Gerald is at Hoffman Show. We appreciate you guys for being here, for listening, and for lending us your ears. Again, try to treat each other good. Try to stay positive. Have fun where you can. If you get a PS5, have fun with it. Don't rub it in your friend's face because they are hard to find right now. Same thing for
They
the
are
Xbox.
hard to find.
Don't vape into anything that you love.
Nope.
Just, I mean, you could vape, but don't blow the smoke into things that you love. It may or may not be good for it. So,
very true.
Till the science is there, let's not do it. And I think that's all. That's all we have. You have anything?
No. Enjoy the week. Good luck to you all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give Gerald a chance to say anything because of that Animal Crossing comment.
That's fair.
But we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Good night.
Good night.